Welcome back to another episode of The Road Chose Me. Today, I'm going to talk about a bunch of small vehicle modifications that are absolutely essential for driving around the world, but that everybody seems to forget about. Again, at all these four-wheel drive and overland shows that I went to last year, people are all about wheels and tires and suspension and LED light bars, but they didn't cover the essentials. They didn't cover the things that really make the difference between having a great trip or struggling as you go along. So if you wonder what those little things are, stick around, I'll get into them right now. So item number one that nobody told me about before I drove Alaska to Argentina. Have a look at my Jeep in that photo. What do you notice about the front of the vehicle? Now have a look at a photo of this Jeep before I shipped it. What do you also notice? That's right, there's no front license plate. So where this is registered and where my last Jeep were registered, those jurisdictions, they don't issue a front license plate. And actually I tried to get one and they told me it's not possible, they simply won't make me one. And that's perfectly legal here, but the thing is when you drive down into Central America, when you're driving around Africa, that is a huge reason that police are going to pull you over and try to extort money out of you. So I would say more than 50% of the times I was stopped in Latin America, the police would have a quick look around, they'd check my documents, and then they would say, you don't have a front license plate, that's a $100 fine. And if you may be really breaking the rules in their country, you can't do much about it and you're going to be stuck. So what I recommend, go to a sign writer, a place that makes up signage for businesses, and have them make you a license plate. I had this one made, it's nice and small, and it doesn't say that, the details. If you wanted to though, take in your original plate and just get them to copy it. Say, make me the same thing. So it looks exactly the same and stick that on the front of your vehicle. While you're at it, bonus tip, for your front and your rear plate, attach them with bolts that aren't easy to get off. So use torque bits, or even better, I actually have this riveted on and I put a rivet in my back plate as well. It says something fun like Yukon or California. I mean, there's a real possibility that someone's going to want a souvenir and they may just snatch your plate. While it's probably not a big deal in your home country, imagine you're in the Congo and somebody steals your plate. Suddenly that's a big problem. So stick them on with bolts or rivets so that people can't take them off easily. Another one that people often don't think about is installing a kill switch into your vehicle. So I put one in my Jeep here and it really brings peace of mind knowing that even if someone were to get the keys off me, they're going to jump in the driver's seat. Even when I put my foot on the clutch, nothing happens. So the reason for that is that I bypassed the clutch safety switch and I actually have a switch somewhere here in the driving cabin. I'm not going to tell you where it is. And it's a momentary switch. I have to be holding it down for the starter motor to fire. And because it's hidden and it's a secret, nobody knows where it is. I mean, worst case scenario, if somebody put a gun in my face and wanted the keys, I would absolutely give them the keys, but they're not going to be able to start the vehicle anyway. And I would probably just play dumb and say, oh, it overheats or the starter doesn't work properly, you're going to have to push start it or jump start it or, try to fob my way out of it and pretend that it's not my fault and you don't know there's a kill switch. And because it's just a momentary switch, I only have to hold it down to make the starter spin. Then when I let it go again, everything's normal, but the kill switch is active. So even if I was sitting in traffic or something, if I turn the engine off, I don't have to do anything else, but the kill switch is active. The engine won't start again immediately unless you hold it down. So it's a reasonably simple mod depending on your vehicle. I did do a big write-up for this Jeep about how you can do it. I'll throw a link down in the description, but do some Googling, figure out how you can make a kill switch work for your vehicle. Another one here at the front of the vehicle is daytime running lights. So I know they've become super popular. It looks cool for magazine photos, or you want your LED light bar on because you spent all that money, you may as well have it on. And actually, this Jeep is Canadian spec, so by law, whenever the engine is running, the headlights are already on half wattage. So that means they're always on. I actually can't turn them off. Maybe this is not technically illegal in many countries, but again, a lot of police are going to try and bribe you. I had it happen many times in Latin America where they say, it's illegal to drive with your lights on during the day, you have to give me $50. So whatever vehicle you have, get a programmer, turn off your daytime running lights. I turned mine off when I shipped mine over to Africa, and then I used that programmer again. Now I've turned them back on again, so I'm legal here in Canada. Not only is it about avoiding extortion, but actually having daytime running lights is really painful because tons of people around the world, they're not used to seeing it. And so when you drive through their tiny village, they want to tell you that you've left your lights on. So they're trying to be helpful, but the problem is they kind of do this and they're like, pointing at the front of your vehicle. And you start to worry and you think, is that because my lights are on? Or is that because there's actually something wrong with my vehicle and I should get out and have a look? And you know, the first time it happens, the first 50 times, you know, it kind of is not a big deal. Trust me, when it happens 10 times a day for 3 years, it gets really annoying and it really makes you feel a bit anxious that something is wrong. So if your vehicle has daytime running lights, get a programmer, turn them off before you hit Latin America or Central Asia or Africa. They're just going to be more trouble than they're worth. I get asked all the time, how was I able to sleep in the intense heat and humidity? Once you're down in Panama or Colombia, you're in the Congo, Northern Australia, the humidity is intense even overnight. And what makes an enormous difference is to have a little bit of air moving. So I bought this little fan. It's about $15 on Amazon. I'll throw a link in the description. This thing runs on a battery and it's USB powered and charges by USB. And it has this little clamp on the bottom, which means you can clamp it anywhere you want. So at night, I bring it upstairs with me. I clamp it on my little hanging cable, and then just having, even on the lowest setting, just having this small amount of air, you can probably hear it on the microphone, having that small amount of air blow across me makes a huge difference to how well I sleep. And actually, once I realized how good it was, I ran a USB cable upstairs. So overnight now, I plug this thing in, and when it's really humid, I'll run it on full noise and have it like directly on my face. Helps me go to sleep. The white noise is nice and the air moving. And then at some point during the night, I always wake up and either turn it down or turn it off. Simple little $15 fan, doesn't take up much space. It's going to change your world how well you sleep once you get into humid parts of the world. One last piece of small kit that I have that makes an enormous difference to my happiness is my little shower bag. So this is called an MSR Dromedary. I'll throw a link down in the description. It's not expensive, but it's a really durable black bag that works perfectly as a shower. So at the end of a long driving day, I sit this thing on the hood or I hang it in the sun, and in about half an hour, you'd be surprised how warm the water gets. And at the end of the day, when you want to rinse off the dust, before I climbed up into bed in Africa, this thing made such a big difference to my happiness. Another reason I really love having it is because it's about 10 litres in capacity, 2.5 gallons or so. I carry this thing around full all the time. And it's not filtered water, so I never drink it, but I can use it to wash my hands or my feet when they get muddy. And then if I did run out of drinking water, I can easily pump this through my filter into my drinking water system, and now I've just got emergency drinking water. So it's really good to have on board just as additional water capacity. And a great thing about having the pop-up roof is when I'm ready to have a shower, I've got a big carabiner on the bag. I just hang it up like that, and then when I turn it on, here's my shower right here. I know it doesn't look glamorous, it doesn't look like a lot, but this makes a huge difference to get the dust off at the end of the day. And after you've rinsed off like this, it'll bring your body temperature down, climb upstairs, and you're ready to go to bed. And I know this isn't going to work in the Arctic in winter, but you know, I'm going to tell you a secret. Not many people go overlanding in the Arctic in the winter. Trust me, I've been up there. -48 is a really special thing, and it's not something that many vehicles or many people are interested in doing. Chances are you want to go somewhere warm, you want to go somewhere nice and enjoyable. A shower like this is going to be perfectly good as soon as the weather is above about 25 Celsius, maybe about 65 or 70 Fahrenheit. This thing works really well, and it's all that you need. It's really simple and it works. That's why I love it so much. So there you have it. I know they're only little things, but they do make a big difference to how much overall you'll enjoy your trip. So I'd love to know down in the comments, did you guys know about these things? Had you already taken care of them on your vehicle? or are you going to go out now and modify your vehicle like this? So let me know in the comments, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, make sure you don't miss future videos. And as always, there's a lot more like this one coming. See you next time.